Which state has inked a memorandum of understanding with Indo Tibetan Border Police to promote adventure tourism at Tehri Lake? Right answer is Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand Tourism Department Board and the Indo Tibetan Border Police has signed a memorandum of understanding to promote adventure sports activities at Tehri Lake. As per this MOU, the Rajiv Gandhi Adventure Sports Academy at Tehri Lake will be administered and managed by ITBP for a period of 20 years, which will be used by ITBP for development of tourism and water sports in Tehri Dam. Under this, ITBP will train over 200 candidates selected by the state government or tourism department every year free of cost. This institute will provide training of water sports to its own personnel, paramilitary and state police forces personnel as well as the local youths. I will remind you some important points about Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand has announced to set up Sanskrit Grams across the state. Uttarakhand announced that it will open India's first snow leopard conservation center in Uttarkashi Forest Division. And also Uttarakhand government has started an initiative called Waste to Energy, through which the waste is converted into electricity. What is the capital of Uttarakhand? Remember, Uttarakhand has two capitals, Dehradun and Gairsen. Dehradun is the winter capital and Gairsen is the summer capital. Chief Minister of Uttarakhand is Trivendra Singh Rawat and Governor is Baby Rani Maurya. Next question is, which Indian politician has been named in the Times magazine's 100 most influential people 2020 list? Answer is Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Recently, Time magazine has released the Time 100 most influential people list 2020. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been named under the leaders category and is the only politician in this list. This list includes 5 categories: pioneers, artists, leaders, titans and icons. Indians in other categories are Professor Ravindra Gupta under pioneer category. He is a professor of clinical microbiology. And in artist category, Ayushman Khurrana. And in icon category, Bilkis. Bilkis is also known as Dadi from Shaheen Bagh. Also remember another news about Times. Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru is in the top among Indian institutes and 36th rank in the world as per the Times Higher Education Report, the World University Rankings. Next question is, which organization has successfully testified Abhyas HEAT recently? Right answer is DRDO. Defense Research and Development Organization conducted a successful test of Abhyas HEAT. Full form of HEAT is High Speed Expandable Aerial Target. This test was conducted from the interim test range Balasore in Odisha. Abhyas has been developed by Aeronautical Development Establishment DRDO. Abhyas can be used as a target for evaluation of various missile systems. Some recent news about DRDO you need to remember are, DRDO has recently provided accurate surveillance drones named Bharat to Indian Army. Another point is, DRDO has launched Dare to Dream 2.0 contest for innovators and startups. And another point is, DRDO has successfully tested the anti-tank guided missile named Dhruvastra. And the last one is, government has set up a panel to modify the charter of DRDO labs. The head of this panel is V. Ramagopal Rao. About DRDO, it was formed in 1958. Its chairman is Dr. G. Satish Reddy and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Next question is, who has chaired the Arogya Manthan 2.0 celebrating the second anniversary of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana? Right answer is Dr. Harshwathan. Dr. Harshwathan chaired Arogya Manthan 2.0 celebrating the second anniversary of Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Dr. Harshwathan is Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare. He also launched the Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana Joint Certification Program. Practitioner's Guidebook was also released, which will serve as a useful tool for the states as it is a respiratory of the anti-fraud guidelines. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana was launched in the year 2018 to provide free access to health care for 40% of people in the country, and it is part of the Indian government's national health policy. For this, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare had established the National Health Authority as an organization to administer this program. Remember, current CEO of National Health Authority is Dr. Indu Bhushan. Next question is, UNCTAD has projected India's GDP for 2020 at what percent recently in its Trade and Development Report 2020? Right answer is minus 5.9%. India's GDP for 2020 is projected at minus 5.9% by UNCTAD in its Trade and Development Report 2020. What is the full form of UNCTAD? It is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. It also predicted that in the year 2021, Indian economy will grow by 3.9%. UNCTAD is part of the United Nations which deals with trade, investment and development issues. It was formed in 1964 and its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. Next question is, when is International Day of Sign Languages celebrated? Answer is 23rd September. The International Day of Sign Languages is celebrated annually across the world on 23rd September to raise awareness on sign languages and strengthen the status about sign languages. The theme for 2020 is Sign Languages are for everyone. 23rd September has been chosen to mark the establishment of the World Federation of the Deaf on 23rd September 1951. This day was first celebrated in 2018. Also remember, the last week of September is observed as International Week of the Deaf. Next question is, who is the head of the technical committee formed by SEBI on Social Stock Exchange? Correct answer is Harshkumar Banwala. SEBI has constituted a technical group on the Social Stock Exchange. This was set up to develop a framework for onboarding non-profit organizations and for-profit enterprises on Social Stock Exchange. The head of this committee is Harshkumar Banwala. He is a former chairman of NABARD. The Social Stock Exchange was proposed by Indian Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in July 2019 budget speech for social enterprises and voluntary organizations to help them raise capital through debt, equity and mutual funds. The Social Stock Exchange will allow the listing of non-profit or non-government organizations on stock exchanges and provide them with an alternative fundraising structure. Next question is, who is the author of the book titled Voices of Dissent? Correct answer is Romila Thapar. Romila Thapar is the author of the book titled Voices of Dissent. This book is historical essay about the recent protests in the country related to the citizenship law and the National Register of Citizens. This book will be published jointly by Penguin Random House India and Seagull Books, and this will be available in October 2020. Next question is, who has been appointed as the advisor to International Monetary Fund Executive Director? Answer is Simanchala Das. Appointments Committee of the Cabinet has approved the proposal to appoint Simanchala Das as an advisor to Executive Director, International Monetary Fund. He will serve as an advisor for 3 years. International Monetary Fund was formed in 1945 for global monetary cooperation, secure financial stability, facilitate international trade, promote high employment and sustainable economic growth and reduce poverty around the world. Its current managing director is Kristalina Georgieva and its headquarters is in Washington DC, United States. Also remember, Chief Economist of International Monetary Fund is Geeta Gopinath. Next one is, Ashalata Vabgonkar passed away recently. What was her profession? Right answer is actress. Ashalata Vabgonkar was a renowned Marathi, Hindi films and stage actress. She had also acted in various Hindi films such as Apne Paraye, Wo Saat Din, Namak Halal, Zanjeer, etc. Madhya Pradesh government launched Mukhyamantri Kisan Kalyan Yojana to provide rupees 4,000 to each farmer annually. This amount will be paid in how many installments? Right answer is 2 installments. Madhya Pradesh government has launched Mukhyamantri Kisan Kalyan Yojana to provide rupees 4,000 to each farmer annually. Remember, this will be paid in 2 installments annually. This scheme has been launched on the lines of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme of Government of India. Point to be noted carefully here is farmers get rupees 6,000 annually under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme of the central government in 3 installments of rupees 2,000 each, and under the state government scheme farmers will get 2 installments of 2,000 each. So, a total of 10,000 will be paid annually, that is 6,000 by center in 3 installments and 4,000 by state in 2 installments. And now I will remind you some important points about Madhya Pradesh. Recently, Griha Pravesham event was held in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh has launched Gandagi Bharat Chodo cleanliness campaign. Another campaign is Ek Mask Anek Zindagi was also launched by Madhya Pradesh. What is the capital of Madhya Pradesh? Bhopal. Chief Minister is Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Governor is Anandiben Patel. Next question is 4th edition of Biennial Naval Exercise ZIMEX 20 has started between India and Japan recently in which format? Answer is non-contact at sea only format. The 4th edition of the Biennial India-Japan Maritime Bilateral Exercise has started in the Northern Arabian Sea. This exercise is being conducted in a non-contact at sea only format. Remember this term, non-contact at sea only format, because the naval exercises are being conducted in this format due to pandemic. The question about naval exercises can be asked in this way. So, you need to remember the term non-contact at sea only format. This exercise will showcase a high degree of interoperability and joint operational skills and further enhance the cooperation and mutual confidence between the two navies. Next question is, which department of Ministry of Commerce and Industry has signed a MOU with Denmark for cooperation in the field of intellectual property? Right answer is the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. DPIIT means the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. DPIIT under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry has signed a MOU with Denmark for cooperation in the field of intellectual property. Through this MOU, both India and Denmark will increase intellectual property cooperation between the two countries and provide opportunities to both countries to learn from the experience of each other. Do you remember when is World Intellectual Property Day observed? It is observed on 26th April. Also remember another point, India ranked 10th in intellectual property filing activity. Next question is, Home Minister Amit Shah virtually inaugurated Destination Northeast 2020. What is the theme of this event? Answer is the Emerging Delightful Destinations. Union Home Minister Amit Shah inaugurated the Destination Northeast 2020 through video conferencing. The theme for Destination Northeast 2020 is the Emerging Delightful Destinations. This event was organized to highlight ecotourism, culture, heritage and business of Northeast region. This event is being organized annually by the Ministry of Development of Northeastern region. Do you know who is the Union Minister for Development of Northeastern region? Jitendra Singh. Next question. RBI to implement technology vision for cyber security for urban cooperative banks 2020-23 with 5-pillared strategic approach. What is the name of this approach? Answer is GUARD. The Reserve Bank of India will implement the technology vision for cyber security for urban cooperative banks 2020-2023 with its 5-pillared approach named GUARD. Full form of GUARD is G is governance oversight, U is utile technology investment, A is appropriate regulation and supervision, R is robust collaboration, D is developing necessary IT cyber security skill sets. This 5-pillared approach will enhance the IT security system of urban cooperative banking to prevent, detect, respond and recover from cyber attacks. The implementation of this approach will strengthen the cyber resilience of the urban cooperative banks. Next question is, India successfully test-fired indigenously developed surface-to-surface Prithvi II missile. What is the strike range of this missile? Right answer is 350 kilometers. India successfully test-fired the indigenously developed nuclear capable missile Prithvi II. Its strike range is 350 kilometers. This missile was tested from the integrated test range at Chandipur of the Odisha coast. This missile is capable of carrying 500 to 1000 kg of warheads and is powered by liquid propulsion twin engines. Some recent successful tests conducted by DRDO are: DRDO conducted a successful flight test of Abias HE-80. DRDO successfully tested scramjet technology named Hypersonic Technology Demonstrator Vehicle for Hypersonic Missiles. And another one is DRDO tested the anti-tank guided missile Dhruvastra. About DRDO, DRDO was established in 1958. Its chairman is Dr. G. Satish Reddy and its headquarters is in New Delhi. Next question is, Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India selects how many insurance companies as domestic systematically important insurers for 2020-21? Right answer is 3. Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India has chosen Life Insurance Corporation of India, General Insurance Corporation of India and the New India Assurance Company Limited as domestic systematically important insurers for 2020-21. These insurance companies are considered too big to fail, that is, its failure will impact the economy and insurance sector to a great extent. IRDAI has chosen these 3 insurers on the basis of their size, market importance, domestic and global interconnectedness, whose failure will have a significant impact on the domestic financial system. Next question. World Tourism Day was observed on 27th September. What is the theme for 2020? Answer is Tourism and Rural Development. The theme for World Tourism Day is Tourism and Rural Development, and when it is observed annually on 27th September. This day was first observed in 1980. This day is observed to raise awareness on the role of tourism within the international community and to demonstrate how it affects social, cultural, political and economic values worldwide. Next question is, Uttar Pradesh government launched which unified portal recently to help students get jobs? Answer is URISE. Uttar Pradesh government has launched an unified portal called URISE, which will guide around 20 lakh students in learning, career counseling and getting employment in the state. Remember, Uttar Pradesh is the first state to launch a unified portal along with the implementation of National Education Policy 2020. This portal will empower the students by providing them with practical and technical knowledge ranging from online exams, digital content, digital assessment, e-library, recorded video content, etc. to employment. Important points you need to remember about Uttar Pradesh are: Uttar Pradesh has started Major Dhyan Chand Vijay Path Yojana, under which 19 international players will get road connectivity to their houses. Another important point is Uttar Pradesh government will launch NRI Unified Portal to help the overseas Indians. And another point is Uttar Pradesh government has launched Naveen Rozgar Chhetri Yojana for all-round development of scheduled caste, and also Flipkart signed a memorandum of understanding with Uttar Pradesh government's One District One Product scheme. And recently the Ministry of Culture has announced 7 new circles of Archaeological Survey of India, out of which 2 new circles, Meerut and Jhansi, are in Uttar Pradesh. You need to remember all these points. And about Uttar Pradesh, capital of Uttar Pradesh is Lucknow, Chief Minister is Yogi Adityanath and Governor is Anandiben Patel. Next one is, what is India's rank in World Risk Index 2020? Right answer is 89th rank. India has been ranked at 89th position among 181 countries on the World Risk Index 2020. As per this report, India is poorly prepared to deal with climate reality, due to which it was more vulnerable to extreme natural disasters. This report is being released annually since 2011. The Pacific island state of Vanuatu is in the top of this index with highest disaster risk, and Qatar has the lowest risk. Has extended the marginal standing facility of 3% to banks on net demand and time liabilities till 31st March 2020. What was the previous percentage? Answer is 2%. Previous percentage was 2% on net demand and time liabilities. You need to know what is marginal standing facility. Marginal standing facility is a window for banks to borrow from the Reserve Bank of India in an emergency when interbank liquidity dries up completely. Under this facility, banks can borrow funds up to 3% of their net demand and time liabilities. And next point is net demand and time liabilities. Net demand and time liabilities is the difference between the sum of demand and time liabilities. It means difference between the deposits of a bank and the deposits in the form of assets held by the other bank. Now coming back to the question, the rate was 2% earlier, that is banks can borrow only 2% of their net demand and time liabilities, and due to pandemic RBI allowed to borrow 3%, and now this facility has been extended by RBI till 31st March 2020. About RBI was established in the year 1935. Its current governor is Shaktikanta Das and its headquarters is in Mumbai, Maharashtra. Which state has won UN award for prevention and control of non-communicable diseases related sustainable development goals? Right answer is Kerala. Kerala has won the United Nations Interagency Task Force on the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases Award 2020 for its outstanding contribution towards the non-communicable diseases related sustainable development goals. Remember, Kerala is among the 7 ministries of health across the world to receive this award. This award is presented to recognize the achievements during 2019 on multi-sectorial action in the prevention and control of NCD related sustainable development goals. In previous videos, we have discussed about sustainable development goals. I will just once remind you about that. There are 17 sustainable development goals of United Nations and these are intended to be achieved by the year 2030. Some important goals among these 17 include gender equality, quality education, climate action, affordable and green energy, clean water and sanitation, zero hunger, etc. About United Nations, it was formed in 1945. Its current Secretary General is Antonio Guterres and its headquarters is in New York. India, with which country has formed a sub-working group to promote co-development and co-production of high-tech weapon systems? Answer is Israel. India and Israel have formed a new sub-working group. Why this was formed? To promote co-development and co-production of high-tech weapon systems and exporting them to other friendly countries. This will enable cooperation in areas like transfer of technology, technology security, artificial intelligence, innovation and joint export to third nations. Recently, Israel was in news for signing a peace deal named Abraham Accord with UAE, which was mediated by US President Donald Trump. Another point about Israel is ballistic missile interceptor Arrow 2 was successfully tested by Israel recently. About Israel, Israel is a Middle Eastern country. Its Prime Minister is Benjamin Netanyahu and its capital is Jerusalem and currency is Israeli New Shekel. Board of Control for Cricket in India appointed Neetu David as the chairman of India Women's Selection Committee for how many years? Answer is 4 years. The Board of Control for Cricket in India has appointed Neetu David as the chairman of 5-member Women's National Selection Panel for a period of 4 years. The other members of the newly elected panel includes Meetu Mukherjee, Renu Margaret, Aarti Vaidya and V. Kalpana. Neetu David will be replacing Hemlata Kala as the new chairman. Neetu David was one of the finest women cricketers of India in the late 90s and early 2000. Points you need to remember in this question are: Neetu David will be the chairman for 4 years. The Women's National Selection Panel consists of 5 members and the previous chairman is Hemlata Kala. Which Indian actor was honored with STA Special Humanitarian Action Award by United Nations Development Programme recently? Right answer is Sonu Sood. actor Sonu Sood has been conferred the prestigious SDG Special Humanitarian Action Award by the United Nations Development Programme. This award was given through a virtual ceremony. He has been awarded for his efforts in extending a helping hand and sending home lakhs of migrants, helping thousands of stranded students, and also providing free education and medical facilities to young children and creating free employment opportunities during COVID-19 pandemic. As part of his efforts, he has launched a free online platform called Pravasi Rozgar to help migrants find job opportunities in various sectors across the country. And remember another recent point about Sonu Sood. Recently, he has been appointed as the brand ambassador of Assam India. And about United Nations Development Programme, it is United Nations Global Development Network. It was formed in 1965 and its headquarters is in New York. Who has been appointed as the new chairman of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India? Right answer is P.D. Waghela. P.D. Waghela has been appointed as the new chairman of the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. He replaces R.S. Sharma as the chairman. Remember the name of previous chairman also, because sometimes question can be asked as P.D. Waghela has been appointed as the new chairman of Telecom Regulatory Authority of India. Who was the previous chairman? So remember, previous chairman is R.S. Sharma and the new chairman is P.D. Waghela. He is 1986 batch IAS officer of Gujarat cadre, and before this he was serving as the secretary in Department of Pharmaceuticals. And about Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, it was formed in 1997. Its headquarters is in New Delhi. Who has been appointed as the brand ambassador for online tutor company Vedanta? Answer is Aamir Khan. Bollywood actor Aamir Khan has been appointed as the brand ambassador of online live tutoring company Vedanta. He will be joining Vedanta to promote new ad campaigns which aims to make quality live online learning accessible to every child in India. Also remember the brand ambassadors of other online edutech companies. Byju's brand ambassador is Shah Rukh Khan, Great Learning's brand ambassador is Virat Kohli, and now for Vedanta it is Aamir Khan. World Rabies Day was observed on 28 September 2020. What is the theme for 2020? Answer is End Rabies, Collaborate, Vaccinate. The theme for World Rabies Day is End Rabies, Collaborate, Vaccinate. And when is this day observed? It is observed annually on 28 September. This day marks the death anniversary of the French chemist and microbiologist Louis Pasteur, who developed the first rabies vaccine. And this is being observed annually to raise awareness about the impact of rabies on humans and animals, provide information and advice on how to prevent the disease and take efforts to control rabies. Also remember, 28 September is also observed as International Day for Universal Access to Information. Who won the Russian Grand Prix 2020? Answer is Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas has won the Formula 1 Russian Grand Prix 2020. This is his second win of the season. After Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen is in second position and Lewis Hamilton was in third position. Remember, Valtteri Bottas is from Finland, Max Verstappen is from Netherlands, and Lewis Hamilton is from United Kingdom. We'll see the recent Grand Prix wins. Pierre Gasly has won the Italian Grand Prix 2020. Lewis Hamilton has won the Belgian Grand Prix 2020, Tuscan Grand Prix 2020, British Grand Prix 2020 and Hungarian Grand Prix 2020. Sayyeda Anwara Taimur passed away recently. She served as the only woman chief minister of which state? Answer is Assam. Sayyeda Anwara Taimur was the only woman chief minister in the history of Assam. She passed away recently after a prolonged illness. She served as the chief minister of Assam from December 1980 to June 1981. Also remember, recently famous singer S.P. Balasubramaniam also passed away, and also former Union Minister Jaswant Singh passed away recently.